what he or she has outside could be an issue for us to lose competent. So I'm suggesting, why I'm trying to bring this, not to discourage competent people to come into the job, to take the job because of the remuneration, and then the job is also avoiding them to have external or other sources of income.
Madam Chair, I don't understand what he's saying. I don't understand. You say you understand.
For the attention of all honorable members, that in case you have any proposal in terms of amendment, it should be submitted, so that at least, because that is the procedure. That is the procedure. So, Honorable Woolley West wants you to further explain.
Can you let me understand what you are trying to say?
Okay, let me give an example here. I'll use an example. If one happens to be a lawyer and you have your chambers, practicing as a lawyer, you have your chambers, you earn enough. And then the issue of a commissioner comes that you want to, your service is needed there. You happen to have earn less than what you are earning from your chambers, could make you to deter not to accept the position of the commissioner, and then in turn, the commission is losing competent people. That's what I'm trying to say here. If they say he should not do anything on our side, so I want clarity.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Oh, okay.
West, you want to say something on that? No. Then it was.
You give me the floor. I think, you know the reason why I say I don't understand you, because what you are saying is not, you are not taking into consideration what the clause is even saying. I really understanding the clause from 45 to 46. Are you understanding what is being said there? Yes, I know. Yes.
In any other trade, that trade is not defined. Could be a personal trade. As the example I give, I am a lawyer, I have my chamber, then I want to be a commissioner. When I compare the income, what I have in my chamber is more than a commissioner, that can make me to live.
That's up to you, but it's what the clause is saying, that a commissioner should not hold any other job.
I saw your tag earlier on.
Now I'm saying that what the clause is saying, that the commissioner should not hold another job. So it is up to you to determine whether or not you want the job. Not me.
I think it's just a concern that he is raising, that we may lose competent people. That is his view, but if we as an assembly agree that the clause is fine and we vote on it, we will go by that. But Chairperson,
yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think this is a full-time job. That's exactly what it's a full-time job. So I don't think a commissioner will be able to do that with something else, and that's what the thing is. And again, I think it's open to every qualified Gambian to be a commissioner. But the load or the work things you're going to have on your table most likely will not allow you to take up another full-time job somewhere else. So essentially, this is a full-time job. And in terms of the salary he was talking about, this comes by way of regulation. You don't put that in the act. It comes by way of regulations, and I think it's very clear on the, the minister will be responsible to do that. Maybe if the minister wants to add something.
Before I allow, can I just listen to all you know, please?
Honorable Chair, I think what my colleague wanted to drive at is, for instance, you have a practicing lawyer who has a chamber, and then you have people working in your office.
Example is very clear.
Yeah, I just wanted to...
That he gave. So
No, but I just wanted to make it more clear for the chairperson to understand what he is trying to say. I said, if you have a practicing lawyer who accepted to be a commissioner, but you have your chambers work, you have people working in that office, you accepting to be a commissioner does not mean that the chamber will close. You understand? Because the chamber, you are the head of that chamber. How should we connect that? I think that is what he is trying to bring on board.
Yes, and also the quality.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I am very much in support of the Honorable Member for Busumbala in connection to this point B. We all understand very well in the Gambia the salary structure of this country. If you don't have a second source of income, could be a problem. Any trade here, that need to be defined. So, like sometimes people might be doing full-time job, but along the side you have second source of income. That could be any of the trade. But if you want to put a condition that you cannot be engaged in any type of trade, that could be the soul. If that can be modified.
Okay. But still, on that, is it Upper Fuladu?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We are enacting a law to establish a commission which requires full-time employment and dedication. So, like the Honourable Member for Woolly West said, any person who wants to maintain your current trade, it's up to you. It's not up to the law or for us to discard or to discourage people from coming in. But it's up to you. Like all the commissions that we have established, whether it's the TRRC or the Journey Commission, it's up to you whether you want to be part of that commission or not. But it shouldn't be something that should be relegated for another source of income for the person. That's my take on it.
But I just want to give an opportunity to Kiang East.
Okay,
Let's hear him. Ask the Honorable Minister to clarify, explain, or justify, or otherwise.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. For me, I don't see any complication in this. You are on your current job, and if you think that is more lucrative than this one, well, stay on your job. That's it. It's a matter of choice. You don't have to take this job up.
But no, please, Jara is, you vacated your seat. Okay, Jara is, please, Honorable Member for Busumbala, Honorable Member for Kiang East, can you address the chair and let's proceed? Thank you.
So this is very simple. It's a matter of take it or leave it. Because before you could be hired, you must see the TOR, the time of reference. You know it very well. It's very simple.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think the text is clear, but the concern of the Busumbala NAM is important for us to reflect on it. The text, the way it is drafted, is my bill, but I think is overreaching. It will be safer we put some savings. For instance, in the Gambia, people are usually very engaged in agriculture, farming, which could be a personal hobby, and you can be gaining something from it. This clause completely exempted it. People do lecturing in a university. The commissioner may be a lecturer in the university, and he may be paid a token. It will be a financial gain. Looking the way we drafted it as it is, it has forbidden any commissioner from being involved in any kind of trade that he is going to earn something. This could be agriculture. This could be lecturing. It may not be full-time job as we are trying to cater for here, but it could be other engagements where he might get earning, but it's not a job that will even distract him from his job. For example, lecturing in a university. He might be lecturing at the School of Journalism, and he will be paid something. So I don't know whether we could cater some little bit of exemptions or qualify this instead of saying should not be occupied or engage in any trade or profession for financial gain. It's a little bit strict here in the language.
Yes, Wooly is West.
No, but Madam Chair, Honorable Minister, it is very clear the reason why they don't want the person to have any other job. There are reasons for it. You are creating a problem where there is no problem. You, if you want to do, you they want it. If you want to have another job other than this, you will not want to take this up. It's up to the person who is asking for the job to decide, not you. And the law is very clear, and I agree with the law that the person here should have no other job. There is in the Constitution, it was amended. Ministers are not supposed to do anything. It's in the Constitution, but the former regime amended it to make it possible for him to only take farming. You see what the problem that has created.
We can even look at the situation in other commissions. Like, for instance, the Human Rights Commission. You have so many commissions.
If I may come back, I'm just explaining. If the text is clear, that's why I started from that. The text is clear. If this is what we intend, we don't need to correct it, that the person is not going to be engaged in anything that will gain him money. If this is our intention, the text is very clear.
Lower Badibu.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I think the Minister has made it very clear, and in any law there must be exception. We need to be very careful here. I think to say the word any, we need to look into that. So I'm not sure, and I'm not comfortable with what the text has just said. I think we need to look into it at least to correct something there. But to leave it as it is, I'm not comfortable with that.
I want to give a chance to honorable members who did not have it. Now, Banjul North was the first, and then, no.
Yes, thank you very much.
No, the Kama had a chance.
Honorable Chair, I think it has been mentioned that, noted that there are commissions that are in place, and I want to believe that this provision is in all the other commissions. So why do we need a difference? So let's revisit those commissions and see. If this is there, then we have no choice but to proceed. No, but you cannot wait. Thank you.
Please, thank you.
Honorable Chair, we are looking at a role being played. 42 gives us 5 commissioners. And moving forward, they are there for 5 years and eligible for another 5 years. So this is not a permanent job, as it were. It is something to be fulfilled at a given stage of one's life, and it is national service, and it should be done without any form of influence on any other matter that makes the person work inefficiently or ineffectively. Now, when limitation on outside work does not mean that the person will not own anything. It only means that if you own something, you must put it on the trust of someone, so that you are fully free from any obligation at that stage on that particular thing. Because if you engage in trade, etc., and you take into court for this and that, and so it means that really you are going to undermine the very function and the public trust entrusted. So what is there is meant to be that it is meant for people who want to devote themselves to public service because they believe in it. And I believe that we should leave it as such and not to be made for somebody who is looking for a career. This is not a career, it's public service.
Yeah, let me allow Honorable Member for Nyamina East as well.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. As for me, having listened to what the Minister had to say, I am not convinced to leave it as it is. Because the example he cited in terms of agriculture, for instance, if the Minister exactly is kind of interpreting what that very close mean, then definitely I am not convinced. I think the Minister knows better and he can better guide the committee to see how best we can modify. We can better frame it not to deprive individuals who might have other private business to engage in search in order to have meaningful gain. Maybe here we can talk of professional gain that I can understand. That the issue of this being paid from other work or job might be deprived, but private issues outside there that can earn you certain things, we must not deprive people from such, as the Minister cited. I'm not convinced to leave it as it is. If that's what it means, I'm not convinced.
Thank you very much, Chair, for giving me the floor. You see, we are making legislations which need to be sort of harmonizing with the existing laws we have. We have several commissions here, human rights commissions, other commissions. So the functions and roles and responsibility given to them should not be seen different with this other one. And we need to also put it at the back of our mind that this job, okay.
Honorable members, I am appealing, can we have one meeting? Please, that section, thank you.
Yeah, I am buttressing the issue of to create harmony in our laws. If that's the procedure as alluded by Member of Banjul North, let that be the trend. And secondly also, this is about will. You have to take the job willingly. Nobody is forcing you to. If you think that what you are doing is lucrative and your vision is more of profit-oriented, you can stay in the private sector and make business. But if you want to devote yourself to national service, to serve your country, you can take up the challenge and do it and remember for posterity. So that's my position on this. Thank you.
On that, so can we just allow the chair to come up so that we'll take a vote on this?
Okay.
In the meantime, I have asked the technical team to check the Human Rights Act, what it says on that, and then just for purposes of comparison, Honorable Minister, we just have a look at that and see. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. By way of compromise, I have a suggestion here. For example, a commissioner shall not occupy or engage in any trade or profession at the detriment of his position as a commissioner. Because, well, just a compromise, at the detriment. Because the thing is, if you're going to take another full-time job, of course, your position as a commissioner would be maybe compromised in some kind of way.
Observation.
Yeah.
I want to observe. Observation, please.
It's fair for us to open the floor again. I think we have had enough views on this. Some honorable members are in favor of it as it is, others are not. But that notwithstanding, we're still not in possession of any written proposal submitted. So I think the proper procedure is for us just to go by it and take a vote. So we will
Honorable Chair. Before we take the vote, I have a suggestion.
There are two, you see, two mics are on at the same time.
I said I have a suggestion before we vote. Yeah, my suggestion is we can skip this one for the time being to allow the technicians to go through the other commissions that are already approved and see what exactly the same provision is talking about in those other commissions before we take a vote. Their feedback will inform us as to how we are going to accommodate this in the bill, if that is agreeable.
I just said that not to impose anything on any honorable member. I just thought of it that probably it may be a guide so that everything can be uniform. You cannot have one law for this commission and another one for this commission on the same issue. But I think for the, what would I even say?
Consistency. Madam Speaker, point of objection.
Consistency.
Madam Speaker.
No, I am not, Madam Speaker. Please, can you okay, Madam Chair, but can you just allow me to finish? Then I will take you. Because you haven't spoken, so and I had said earlier on, I will give a chance to everybody who hasn't had a chance. So just allow me to learn. What I am trying to say is that I think we have had enough views, pro and cons. I just suggested looking at the Human Rights Commission Act to see the bit on this limitation on outside work. If we have other commissions, fine, we can just compare before we take a vote on that, and in which case, I would then go with the suggestion that we just skip it for about 5–10 minutes to allow the legal team to look into it, and then we'll come back and continue, rather than wasting more time on this. But I am not going to take anything from Kantora anymore.
No,
no, you have had your chance. Now, nominated member, please.
Observation, very serious observation. Very serious observation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I think we are wasting too much time on this. I concur with the Chair's proposal. Once and for all, we go into vote, Madam Chair. We literally state now when we argue, when we start comparing here and there, Madam Chair, let's go for vote.
The proposal was not from the chair. I proposed that we take a vote.
Yes.
But then I just said, let us just look at what is in the... Can you please come and help me?
Yes, I have the TRRC Act here.
I think
observation.
Go through it. Look, we all have to understand that we're dealing with 53 people against one individual. So really, I cannot be taking right, left, and center. I'll be confused. I'm just a human being. So let us exercise patience and look at it and see what is provided for to guide us. Now, if we're not going to do that, when we go, then we take a vote. It is proposed that Section 46, limitation on outside work, stands part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. No. So the ayes have it. Now, look, the ayes have it.
Madam Chair, we vote.
Clause 40, okay, let's take a vote. Those in favor, please raise your hands. No, it's okay, don't worry. Please raise your hands. We take a vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Please. Those in favor, please say aye. Raise your tags, please. No, just raise your tags. You are honorable gentlemen, please, and women. I think it's very obvious. Those not in favor, please raise your tags. Those not in favor, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 8. Okay. The results are, sorry, honorable members, the results are 23 in favor, that is 23 ayes, and 8 not in favor. So the ayes have it. So now clause section 46, limitation on outside work, now stand part of the bill. We just try to be democratic.
Thank you. Section 47. Remuneration.
Clerk, clause 47, remuneration, stands part of the bill. Honorable Chair, any observation?
No, we are okay with it.
Observation. Honorable members, any observation? Upper Fuladu?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. You will realize that this section is inspired by the IAC Act. And in section 46.2 of that act, original bill, went further to give provision to state that no authority shall vary the salary, allowance and retirement benefit of a commissioner to the commissioner's disadvantage during his or her term in office. I think this should be included to make sure, because the first provision is very clear, that the remuneration of the commissioners shall be approved by the National Assembly on recommendations of the minister. However, this can be altered if that provision is not there. And you will find such provision in the IEC Act and the original bill, this original bill, when it was first laid.
I did indicate from the beginning that if any honorable member has a proposal, it should be written down and submitted, but cannot wait until the last minute and it is, we'll take other interventions, you write it down and forward it to the table office.
Okay, I will do that now.
We'll do that. Any observations on that? 47? Usually it should have been done yesterday or before the commencement of the sitting, but if it is not done, you still have an opportunity during the course of the sitting just to submit it. Yes, Busumbala.
Madam Speaker, I think I'm happy. My case is, I'm justified here. Daura is, honorable member, is civilizedly supporting me when he is against the first point. He was not against it, so I support his point there.
We are dealing with 47. Now, if any honorable member has any amendment proposals to 47, please, we'll give you about 2-3 minutes to forward it to the office so that it can be read and we'll discuss it and then proceed. Yes, Wooly West.
I don't want to propose anything, I'm commenting. You know, this is very clear. There is no need to add anything to it. The law is saying, you as National Assembly, you are going to make a... So why do you make another law? There's no need for any to this. The law is going to, you are going to approve. That means you are going to make a law to say that this person should be paid this. Who on earth will change that without breaking the law? Come on, let's stop using words unnecessarily.
I want to help him to answer his question, why? Why the necessity for the proposal the honorable member suggested for us to consider it? Probably we have the best and most independent National Assembly this time. Probably we discuss issues on national basis. Anything can happen. We've seen what we came from. National Assembly was compromised. It could possible National Assembly could also be compromised the time these things are going to be discussed. So that's why we need to be very careful that his provision says no new remuneration should be given to the disadvantages of the commissioners. So that could also be considered there. So that's why I'm trying to answer your why there. We are trying to safeguard ourselves because the work of the National Assembly could be compromised as it was compromised before.
Yes.
Chair, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think this thing is really very straightforward. Because it's telling you the commissioners shall be approved, the remuneration of the commissioners shall be approved by the National Assembly on the recommendation of the minister. So the only thing the minister does is make recommendations. So if the minister wants to change, he will also commit another recommendation. So for me, I don't see any issue with this. Even in terms of alteration, he will have to come back. I think this is very straightforward. So I don't think there's any need to change anything here. For me, personally, I don't think there's any need.
I think the argument is as a result of his proposal, which, if I may be allowed to read, it says, no authority shall vary the salary, allowances, and retirement benefits of a commissioner to the commissioner's disadvantage during his or her tenure in office. For me, I don't even see how that can be possible without reference to the National Assembly, taking into consideration this provision. But anyway, that's just my view. Yes, Cantora?
I wanted to really flag this thing earlier on the proposal made, but it's now repeating itself. It's now coming up again. So I just want to give a piece of advice that let's avert our mind that we are not drafters. Not everything that we want to, come in there when the law has already catered for and they bring a proposal, to add it to this thing. Even though it's our responsibility to actually correct this thing, but let's also avert our mind that, drafting is a different ballgame entirely. Thank you.
That's why we always have the ministry here. Yes, Serekunda.
Well, what is the Honorable Minister's position? Because what the member is saying is that once the salary and allowance is given, it should not be altered to his or her disadvantage. So since it's a 5-year term, and we hold budget sessions annually, is this relevant or is it not relevant? So the member is saying that it's relevant because you can have a National Assembly that may not be progressive and decide to collude with an executive to alter an income. So we are just debating.
Let the Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and thank you, Honorable members who have a divergent view. I agree, but you did mention here that after approving of this of this bill, most of the practices of these commissions are run by regulations, which can be prone to abuse. Number two, like the Honorable Member for Serekunda just mentioned, in every budget we approve what is presented before us, and if the minister deems it necessary to reduce the work of or the allowance such benefits of these commissioners, and this is supported by the National Assembly, and is to their disadvantage. The IEC Act is telling us that that cannot happen now. So since we are talking about uniformity, I think it's only fair to consider, the extra safeguard that I am proposing here. So, like I said, we are trying to be democratic and allow divergent views, but I think this is only going to cement the tenure of office of these commissioners, given the fact that they will take a good sacrifice to come and serve in public space.
To guide us on this, but before that, I just want to ask one question. You referred to the IEC Act, and here, hopefully this will be the Access to Information Act after everything. Now, these are two, you want to tell us, Honorable Minister, please guide me, that the IEC Act will override the Access to Information. They are all on the same, is it level, if I may call it that? But please, can you help us to...
Madam Chair, before the
But that is just off Yeah, but let us deal with the substance.
I know, I just want to help
Yeah,
you
let us
on
deal
that.
with the substance
Yes,
of this.
so basically-
Vis-a-vis your proposal.
I agree. Just basically, what I'm saying here is you will find that this access to information bill is 70% inspired by the IC Act. Most of the provisions. No, I'm telling you, it's lawmaking. You take inspirations now from other areas. So it's commissions. They are both commissions. So basically, that's what I'm saying. So if you look at the IEC Act, you'll see that such clause was instilled in there to make sure that there's a second safeguard for their remunerations. Thank you.
Yes, Willie West.
Madam, I think we are just wasting our time. We all know that the untouchables in this National Assembly are personal emoluments. You touch everything here except that. Since you, authority who make law, you cannot touch somebody's salary, who else will touch it?
Why is your microphone?
Thank you. It's always interesting, like Honorable Foserekunda said, the debates are revealing. Sometimes, actually, the provision is good. I'll make first a general response for those who believe, making reference to previous legislations in the interest of uniformity. Uniformity is very good, but we are also evolving and growing, so we shouldn't be bound. This House should not bound itself to what you put in previous legislations. You can put something in a previous legislation and now you are faced with a different set of analysis and facts, and you can depart. You can depart from that position, although you have put it in a human rights bill or in an election bill maybe a couple of months ago, but now you could decide to say, no, yes, we put it there, but today we are not going to repeat the same thing. So don't fix yourself into what was in the bill that we passed the last time. You are not bound by that. You can always move on and develop your legislative process. Then the other one also is, let's not be too fearful of controlling feature abuse, which may likely lead us to over-legislating. Because no legislation can close all possible abuses. If somebody wants to be abusive of a process, the person will abuse, of course. Yes, I understand the fears are genuine, but it is risky to oust, to remove the jurisdiction of, say, for example, phrases like no authority, including the National Assembly. I don't think, I understand the fear that there may be a National Assembly that may be compromised and they may be tempted to get into these things, but to fear of controlling that, to oust the power of the National Assembly from affecting changes when change is necessary is also risky. Assuming this country is going through a serious austerity, serious economic situation, this House, nothing stops you from reducing the salaries of ministers and heads of agencies to take care of that situation. So to legislate and put clauses like no authority should be able to change anything, then you are ousting your own power tomorrow if the need arises and you want to change something. So for me, I think the provision is okay so long as even if the minister is going to alter it, he is going to come back here. We just need to trust that our assemblies from now on will be growing and growing and will be more mature. We should trust that it will always be better. We should not expect that we are going to get a worse National Assembly than what we have now. We should always believe that it will be better. That's my take. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think we can move ahead. Let's move forward. It is proposed that Section 47, remuneration, stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. So the ayes have it. Now, clause 47, remuneration now stands part of the bill. Thank you. Can we move to
Section 48, independence of the Commission.
Thank you very much. It is proposed that Section 48, independence of the Commission, stands part of the bill.
the committee is okay with this particular clause. We are fine with it.
Committee is, any observations on that, honorable members? No? Okay. Thank you very much. Then it is now, section 48, independence of the commission now stands part of the bill. But we did not take the vote on that, did we? Did we take a vote on that?
Yes.
We did, okay, right. Thank you. 49.
Section 49, staff of the commission.
Thank you. It is proposed that section 49, staff of the commission, stands part of the bill.
Correction, please.
Observations, yes?
Clauses, not sections. Clauses, not sections. Not section.
I say we've been debating. It's a bill as of now. Until it becomes law.
But you are calling it section. She's saying section, you say section.
I was saying clause, go through the reports, but I was corrected. I raised it. I raised it, didn't I? Yes, I did. But we agreed on acts.
Clause.
Okay, we use clause then. We have been using clause from 2017. Even this morning, if you go through the records, we've been using clause. Am I right or wrong? Yes, please, any observations? It was an observation, which is quite in order. Any further observations? Chair?
We are okay with it.
You're okay?
Yeah.
Now, clause 49, staff of the commission now stand part of the bill. We're right? Are we together? Yes, okay. Or we take the vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. So, clause 49 of the bill, that is staff of the commission, now stand part of the bill. Thank you. We proceed. 50, clause 50.
Yes, clause 50, duties of the executive secretary.
Thank you very much. It is proposed that clause 50, duties of the executive secretary, stand part of the bill. Any observations from honorable members? Chair?
We are okay with it.
Who? Minor what?
Correction.
Yes, let's have it. It's a correction.
You are not giving me floor. How can I do it? Are you giving me floor now? Now, no, that's long time ago. Now I'm asking you
okay.
floor.
Let's not quarrel.
No.
Minor corrections.
No, 51A. 1A. Yes, shall be responsible for carrying out the policy, not carrying out of the policy. Off should go off. For carrying out the policy decisions of the commission.